Hello.
Hi. Oh, I'm a mess today, aren't I?
It's Monday. It's Monday, so it's like whatever.
Happy MLK Day.
Happy MLK Day.
Yay. How was your weekend?
Productive, so I can't complain.
Nice.
Can't complain.
Okay, so I've got a little bit of a share screen.
hmm
So to quickly, do you want to do welcome to the Chatsters or Zoners or whatever we're calling our friends in the live chat? Or do you want to do the summary first, then say hello to everybody?
I'll do the hello now, though we can go straight through.
Okay.
Let's see. Hey, Black Lavender. Hey, Trey. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Dark Lily. Good to see you. And we'll just welcome people as they come in. And this episode was interesting, so I'm interested to get in. I'm kind of looking forward to this one a little bit. Not much based on the previews, but we'll just stick to this.
But they dropped the trailer for the the Charleston trip,
That made me
and
mad. That upset my nerves.
but you know what? I said as soon as they did that, it's so not going to be in this episode because was it Candy who was the voiceover on that who said over the next few weeks or something like that?
That's what made me mad.
Why? But
The
at
next
least
few
we
weeks,
got a prelude, like they're planning it in this episode.
right? But what irked me was the next few weeks.
Hmm.
That's
And
the part that just irked my nerve.
but I
I couldn't
told
take it.
you, I said this season seems very disjointed and it feels like they don't have any good footage and they're just slapping together things in a mishmash. And I think that's why a lot of people are very frustrated. Was this episode a little bit better?
No,
Yes.
yes, yeah, yeah.
As this season is it
Mhm.
progressively getting better, but I just think we're taking a really long time to get to nowhere.
Oh, I mean, this like you said, perfect. Like episode is better, but like as soon as I wish they just kept it as upcoming. Like I really wish they just said upcoming or next week because what you tell me, um, over the next few weeks,
Hmm.
that will either be from it could be from 2 to 6 weeks of this, and I just not here for it.
Yeah, and I agree with Stephanie, stretching the season all the way out, it's I've got limited time for this, I really do. But we open up sorry about that, guys. We open up the show, we see Kenya Moore at a business meeting with someone about her Kenya Moore hair care products. Then we see Drew and Ralph teaching one of their kids how to ride a bike. But then the show really opens up at Lake Bailey with Cynthia and Mike. Um, Going through their wedding, and some people have accepted. Well, a lot more people have accepted than they anticipated, so they're a bit worried about that. Then we go back over to Drew and Ralph's house, and they are packing up. This was a little packing competition that they had. Who could, I don't know, break a glass faster. Um, Nice part of this scene was the tribute to his dad who passed away. Then we have Candy getting herself ready and talking about getting her child support that's in arrears from Riley's dad. Uh, then we have Cynthia and Portia having a little dinner date. Cynthia talking on FaceTime to her daughter, again, trying to plan to get her to come in for the wedding. This was a nice part of the episode. Candy Cares and her charity event to help single parents. Uh, it's official. They got their marriage license. This is a donation from Marlo. And the final scene, which is Cynthia, her daughter, her sister, and her mom, and a question that she has for her mom. So let's stop sharing this for a little bit. Okay, so you want to start from the top with Cynthia and Mike talking about the wedding.
I think yeah, let's use this. Let's use the screen share as well, and just go that
Oh,
way.
you do? Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So let me tee it back up. You start talking about what you um go ahead and dissect
yeah.
that
Okay,
scene.
perfect. So with
Mhm.
Cynthia and Mike, as I understood what Cynthia was thinking. I got the thought process. And I was
Mhm.
kind of with her, like, yeah, I sent out the 250 invitations, but I didn't think really that many people will respond due to COVID, because most of them are out of town. So I understood that. I would thought the same thing, like, you know what, I'm going to invite you. That way, I wanted you there. Because it hadn't she not sent out all those invitations, you're like, well, you didn't want me at your wedding. I
Mhm.
mean, my feelings are hurt. So I feel in this instance, she did the right thing. If I had sent out 250 invitations, I would only expect to get 100 back, or the people who are within driving range, so to speak. So I
Mhm.
understood that, but when she got back up, so far 167 confirmed. I was like, oh,
Yeah. You know what? When you are planning an event and you send out 250 invitations, always, always expect 270 to show up.
oh, so
I mean,
you
you
plan for
always
gay
plan
crackers?
for more. You plan for
Oh, okay,
more.
gotcha.
Um, especially like with Caribbean events, there's no such thing as a RSVP. They just show up, they bring extra people. You always have to prepare for overs.
Okay,
Um, with American events, I always say if you send out 250 events, have it in your budget to pay for 250 people. Have it in your budget to pay for 250 people.
right.
Don't invite more than you can pay for.
I don't think it was a more of a pay for. I think it was more the fact they just really didn't think people would show up. I think
Here's
that
the
was
thing. Here's the thing. She had a broken, busted wedding the first time.
well, yeah. But you see, she has her license in her hands, so we're good there.
Uh-huh. That's I applaud her, especially the comment that she made. I'm gonna keep this in my sight. I'm not letting it out of my sight. Good
Right,
girl. You have the video evidence from the first wedding, don't let it out of your sight.
exactly.
Um, but I felt like there's always a budgetary issue with them.
Well, the plan was for Bravo to pay for it, so
Mm.
um, that's there's that part. There is that part, and I think Yanni makes a good point. But who invites 250 if you only wanted
Mm-hmm.
100? It doesn't work like that. You invite 150
Correct.
for 100 to come in, especially because she's famous. Because it would be on TV and guests want to be on TV. Correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
So
I
agree with
mean,
that.
I do. I just it's just to me it's amazing that people actually risk the pandemic to get to this wedding, and that proves to Yanni's point, I think.
Mm-hmm. And Ayn has another good point. We were way into the pandemic. People wanted out. We wanted to go somewhere. And if you're giving me an open bar and some free food, of course I'm going to go with my shield on, with the mask, with the sanitizer, with the test, everything. I'm going to go. I want a night
No,
out. I want to get out of my
that's true.
house. I want to dress up and put on makeup for the first time in ever. So I just think it was kind of unrealistic.
Yeah, when we put everything together, plus we put in Yanni's points, yeah, it was a she did overreach, but it comes down to it, like you just knew Bravo was gonna pay for this because it was gonna be on TV, and that's pretty much what the crux of it is. Like, you know what, Bravo's gonna pay for this. It's gonna be on TV, so I'm gonna invite as many people as I can. 250 sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. I, this whole wedding is not believable, but okay.
Hmm.
All right. So the next scene, I hope I have these in line. All right. So now we flip over to Drew and Ralph, and they seem to be getting along a lot better. Um, Packing up to move to the new house. I hope she got the paperwork.
Me too. I really, really do. Because yeah, it's not good. It's not good. They're just so up and down. And I still go
Hmm.
back to um this. Yeah, it's just with those two, I just don't understand.
I'm just waiting for the argument next week. That's all. Um, but this scene I thought was a really touching like tribute to his dad. And then the one balloon that did not want to leave the house, it just floated right above the house while all the others went straight up.
Hmm.
And they said that it was his dad looking over the house and looking over them. I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, he's hanging around to just check on him a little bit.
Hmm. Um, this couple, they've I feel like they've shared a lot, but yet I still don't know them or understand their dynamic. Um, but let's see how that progresses because he did warn her he's still Ralph.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they just seem to have a lot of things to work out. I think what helps with us, they're new and they're new and they're not trying to play perfect. So I think that um it's interesting because we really don't see that. So when people say like like this is too much or like why are they showing this blah 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 blah, I'm like, well, here's the thing. I'm gonna like use Luann from New York as a comparison. Like when she came on the show, she tried to play perfect, like everything was okay, but they were actually separating, going through a divorce, and people didn't like that. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't complain when they actually show you the truth, because
Mm-hmm.
that's reality TV. This is their reality. So if you like it or not, they're being honest and open, which is what we ask of our reality TV stars for the most part. So we know part of it's scripted. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why seeing this, while it can be a little uncomfortable, at least it's their truth. They're not hiding anything. So I applaud them.
What do you think about P's comment regarding Ralph's preoccupation with not showing emotion for the loss of his father? Um,
Hmm.
I heard an earlier review of this, and it was someone. Oh my God, I wish I could remember the name of the channel, but they've lost both of their parents, and they cried for like days upon the loss of their parents. Um, and he felt like, just because you're a man doesn't mean that you can't show emotion and you can't be vulnerable. And he felt like the production company prevented Ralph from showing emotion. Do you think it's the production company? Do you think it's Ralph? Do you think it's a combination? Do you think that that other person was like totally way off base with this?
I think it's a combination of the two. But give me one quick second.
Hmm.
For this is for who was it for? It was for Susan and Yanni. That's the link to the Bailey Agency website, because I think they asked for that because they were, what happened to Cynthia's school, and I just googled it real quick, and it says the Bailey Agency School of Fashion, and when you click on website, that link kind of pops up. So that's interesting to me.
Mm.
Let me tell you what it says for everybody who's not going to look. It says this site has stepped out for a bit. When you click on website off that page, it says this site has uh it says site suspended. This site has stepped out for a bit.
Mm. Interesting.
So yeah, with these back to these two, I just want to let everybody know what the link was. Um, yeah, they're interesting. But I do agree with where is it? Trey. Like I would hate for this to be her whole storyline for the whole season.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's just putting a band-aid temporarily on their real issues. And I totally agree with you, Pete. I don't think that he needs to be like on the floor to completely inconsolable, drowning in his own tears. But his attitude towards it, or his fear of showing any emotion or vulnerability. Um, I don't know. We're humans. We're emotional people. I'm kind of
Right.
wary of people who have no emotions. That's
Yes,
all.
it's kind of a red. It's kind of a red flag. You know, like you kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah, but it was a nice sentiment for his dad. Let's see.
Exactly.
Okay. I took this shot because in this scene we covered a lot of bases. We were told about Candy Cares, which is her charity to help out people in need during the pandemic. She also has a phone call with Michael Sterling, Eva's husband,
Hmm.
regarding getting the arrears child support. Um, I took this picture because this young lady um, said that her request, when it gets before the judge, is going to be thrown out.
Wow.
And I was just like, my God, really?
I
Just
have a
because
question.
she has money?
I have a question for you though.
Mm,
Do we think this is just a ploy for her to get Eva back on the show? I'm just,
probably.
I'm just saying because
Probably.
of all the lawyers in Atlanta, you just happened to go with Michael Sterling, who's Eva's husband.
But what's his specialty though? I didn't think it was
I didn't think it was like
family
me neither.
law. This would fall under family law, right?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. And don't threaten us, with going over to their house for some food because she be cooking, y'all. I don't know. I think it is the way how they maneuvered to get Kenya back. They're maneuvering, to me, just in my opinion, to get Eva back.
Right. That was just that's what I'm like. Well, I just of all the lawyers in Atlanta, like you just happened to go to your ex co-star's slash friend's husband. It just seemed kind of odd. That's all. Like,
Yeah.
Like, good ploy though. Good ploy.
But this isn't the first time she's tried to get back child support from his name is Block, right?
Yes.
What happened to that lawyer?
Right.
Yeah, you've got a point there. So yeah, she was setting up to do something on social media, I think, for Candy's Care. But this young lady on her team was very honest in her opinion. And I kind of like that dynamic, that you can be honest with your employer or with your director or something like that, like in a work situation. I really feel I work better when I have an open line of communication with my who I report to, and can feel free to talk to them, not disrespectfully, but I'm I can talk to them and joke around with them and stuff like that. So I thought this was a nice dynamic.
I do because Candy treats her employees like family. But my only, let's see, how can I put this? My only bone of contention is this: is that you waited so long for this. You want to wait till she's pretty much grown and off to college to pay for this. And granted, it's $92,000, but
Mm-hmm.
why didn't you get the child support when he had those millions? It just for me, it's like, I mean, at this point, you kind of just call it a wash. I mean, I get holding him accountable for the child support, but 18 years later,
No, I don't think it's 18 years later. Because like I said, she has gone after him previously, and we've seen it on the show. I think this is for the last 5 years he hasn't paid for. And if we did our research, if we really wanted to waste the time, I'm suspecting that the last time she brought this up on the show was approximately 5 years ago, um, trying to get money out of him.
Let's see what we have here. Um,
And it doesn't, and I agree. Hold on. Cooch says this. Her daughter deserves every penny of that. You know, just because you're not constantly having him in the court, or constantly sending letters from your attorney doesn't mean that, he shouldn't pay it. And I think Michael Sterling is going about it the right way. They're doing checks into his financial history to see, what you have received, you know, and if there's a reason why you haven't paid it. And
hmm,
Riley doesn't miss a dime. Riley is like, I want my money. I'm going to college. I got bills to pay.
child support.
Oh, was it Phaedra who was dealing with that back in the day?
That was Sheree.
Oh, that was for
That was Sheree.
Sheree.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That was Sheree. Because
Okay, so
Sheree paid her a $5,000 retainer.
did she do it in the parking lot like that
Supposedly,
last person?
supposedly in the dark alley.
Oh my God. The daughter asked her to do it. The daughter wants the money. I don't blame her. She's been asking for years. That's true. Stephanie, who waits for the child to move out to ask for child support. Um, well,
I'm gonna drop the link. So this is from 2016, and back then
your money, Candy.
it was
True.
50,000 back then.
So he owed 50,000 back in 16.
Yeah, according to this article, yes. It says Candy versus ex Russell Block Spencer owes her nearly $50,000 in child support. Her mom Joyce claims the Real Housewives. The figure comes up as Candy and Joyce because how Block wants to be more of their daughter Riley's life.
Trey has a good point. Can't they simply garnish his check? I'm confused. Well, he's a producer, right?
That's
He's
what
in
I
he's in the
gather.
music
Yeah,
business. So I don't think it's like don't they like I don't think they get like a regular paycheck like me working for a company and I get a paycheck every 2 weeks deposited. If you are like a contract worker, so you get paid based upon a gig you did or whatever, can they still garnish that if it's not like a regular payment?
they can garnish. For what I understand, they can garnish your wages on anything that's taxable. If that makes sense. So anything that's taxable, like any form of anything where you draw out taxes, they can garnish.
But
So, what
what if he's a 1099 person that's a
I
contract person?
I would think that when he files his taxes, that he owes will be garnished. You know what I mean? Anything that he
Oh,
like, say he was getting a tax return per se,
yeah.
then they would probably take that tax return.
Right, but if you're like one of those, like if you're, I think it's a 1099 where no taxes are taken out and you're responsible for paying those taxes at the end of the year, um, if you're not getting anything back, you have to pay. How
They
can
would
they
put a lien.
garnish?
They would put. I think they put a tax lien on. Cause basically, they would look at you owe the government basically, but it would go to the child. So they would put a
Uh-huh.
lien out. Kind of like when people pay taxes,
Um,
but they owe taxes, they
mhm.
send you a notice saying like, hey, you owe us this money, so you would just pay them. So I would think it would work in the same way.
Oh,
Bobby said
true.
Bobby
Oh,
says he gets a check from the label. Okay,
oh, he gets a
that's
check from the label. Okay, okay.
that makes sense. Then they would just garnish that then.
Okay. I need to get the money that was owed to me 20 years ago. Oh, get your money, Stephanie. Get your money. Um, okay. So do we have anything else to say about this particular
Mm-mm.
scene? Okay, so off we go. All right. Mike wants to invite his best friend in the whole wide world, Dennis, to his wedding. And Cynthia says, I have to talk to Portia about that. So this is them at the dinner. And I thought it was considerate to ask Portia where she's at with Dennis, because it seems like everybody's very confused about this.
Gotcha. I want to know your thoughts on this one because
Um,
I think it's
I
more because you're a woman. So if you were getting married, like, how? What are your thoughts on this?
okay, so like if I would want to figure out if they were together or if they were apart. And if they were apart, how amicable is that relationship? And explain to her, Mike wants to invite Dennis. And I would want to know how that would impact her. And because in the end, I don't want them getting drunk and coming to blows at my wedding. It's just a preventative measure for me. If y'all are cool and you don't have any problem with it, we can invite Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
But if you gonna act the fool, then no.
So is it fair to say Portia can come to the wedding, but Dennis can't? Like, if they each have a guest list, why is his guest less value than Cynthia's guest?
Well, she's known Portia longer. And the only
But
reason why Dennis is, she brought Dennis into the group. And
right,
I
but
get Mike he should be able to say who he wants to come or not. But she's gonna change her mind anyway because Dennis was at the wedding.
right. I mean, we know. I'm just saying, like, the way I look at it, I'm more of the person like, look, I understand you're not together. This is Mike's friends. You stay over there. He gonna stay over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
just, that's how I look at it.
this comes up again at the end of the episode with regards to her parents. So it is
Mm-hmm.
a slippery slope. In the case of her mom, there was some physicality in that relationship that has left permanent scars.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you really need to figure out who should come and who shouldn't.
In that, yeah, that when we get to that, that's a like
It's a
similar, but yeah, very
completely,
different.
yeah, it's a completely different scenario. But again, nobody really knows what's going on between Portia and Dennis.
Right,
Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're off.
right,
Sometimes she's accepting the mommy presents. He's there, he's not. It's very fluid.
right. You just never know. You have to like, you got to
Right.
call like, look, y'all together this week? Cool, thank you, bye.
Right. So I think it's always best to ask. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what's the worst she could say? Scream and say F you or something. That's the worst. Then you'll go, oh, okay, so that's really a tinderbox. Let me just back away from that. You
Right.
know, it doesn't hurt to ask. But I thought it was I thought it was nice. See, this is how I like it to be handled. A one-on-one
Mm-hmm.
situation, not with all of the other hens clucking in. Just, say your piece and let me evaluate from there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, uh, I just thought this was a cute picture. It was a useless scene, her talking to Noelle, but we get an update on Noelle. She's
Mm-hmm.
now an Instagram influencer and gets paid by companies to take pictures of herself in their products and post it on her Instagram.
Right.
Is this a real job?
Yeah.
What have I done
Mhm.
wrong with my life?
We didn't grow up. We didn't grow up with social media. That's all.
Oh,
That's
okay.
really what it is. It was like, I mean, the first social media I can really remember was MySpace, and I was in my 20s then. So, like, that's just technology has made the world really open now.
Mhm.
So yeah, people like if you're pretty, look good, companies understand sex sells, beauty sells, attractiveness sells. So like if they feel like you have it, they'll pay you to post their stuff because what it is on the website tend to be yeah you have the product, but you're reaching like a limited audience per se versus an influencer who can like influence people to buy their brand. Like, hey, I like this. Why don't you try it? You know, kind of like almost a herd sheep mentality
Mhm.
in a way. So,
Okay.
so
Okay.
it's just extending influencers extend the reach because typically they're going to look for influencers in different genres, markets per se.
Mhm.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, and we learned that she got her own apartment, so in LA, so she's living on her own, and I guess it's profitable because she's supporting herself, which is always a very good thing. Good
I,
enough
I like
for.
I like the
Mhm.
fact that she said, "Mom, I gotta go. I gotta be able to afford this apartment." And Cindy's like, "Yeah, go buy."
Mhm.
That was so,
Yeah.
that was so funny.
It was a cute scene. It was a cute scene. Okay, so we get to the Candy Cares event where they're putting together these hampers. Hampers is not the right word, but bags of
Tag.
food. Yeah, for single parents, and it's a drive-up event. I think she said 549 families they
Mm-hmm.
targeted. She went early in the morning to the farmers market with Marlo. She got all of the ladies together to help. She also asked, her circle for donations, monetary donations, and some have been generous and some showed up.
Right. I thought it was interesting, like how this was not very produced. It was very cut and dry, very simple. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's the direction. Boom, boom, boom. It was
Mhm.
just, I just liked it. It felt more honest and more real. I think.
The peppers were gorgeous. And the zucchinis were nice, big zucchinis. Lately in my area, I've been getting like the little small wee wee ones. Uh, I'm a little hungry, guys. I haven't had lunch yet. Uh, they had really good food for them.
Really good.
Um, I thought it was a very nice event, giving back to her community. She might not have been able to go to protests, but she is paying it forward, which I thought was very nice. And she's planning another one to follow up on this. So I thought
Mhm.
it was pretty cool. Um, so yeah, again, they were there talking about the dentist thing because it's coming up with Todd. I'm wondering if Dennis is like politicking with all of the guys to get an invitation to this wedding.
I don't think so. I equate this more to the whole Dr. Gregory Quad situation, where they were having their rough patch, going through a divorce, but the husbands were still friends with Dr. Gregory, and they really wanted him around.
Mm.
That's why they became really really cool, and like they're like, well, my wife is friends with your ex, and this is boo. How do I manage this? We still want to hang out with you, but it's a sticky situation. So I think that's where it is.
Hmm. Oh, wait, this is a nice comment because I was just going to bring this up. Why does Kenya always feel like she's the foreman of every production line that these girls go through?
Because she's a producer.
Producer of what?
She has her own production company. So any event, any any of the she feels like I have the most experience. I got this. Like this is what we're gonna do. That's just what I'm taking from it.
I want to figure out how many credits she has for that production company. That's all. Okay, so moving along. She's got her marriage license. Yay! And she's keeping it to herself this time.
Right.
Oh my God. I want this wedding to be over with. Is that bad?
No, it is not bad.
Okay, so Candy decides to give lunch to the girls. They take a break, they go to a picnic table, and Marlo decides to give her $5,000 donation and tells Candy to check it to make sure it's not 50 but 5,000.
Right? That was so mean.
Which one of the girls do you think did not donate?
Probably Kenya.
I thought so too. I thought so too. But Candy's not sharing that information. But to me, it felt like it was Kenya. Mm.
Right. So to answer your question about Kenya's production company, it looks like she has three credits. Life Twirls On, The Confidant from 2010, which is a movie, which is a thriller,
Mm.
and then she has in music Kenya Moore, Gone with the Wind, Fabulous, 2013. So three total credits to More Vision Media.
And just going based off of the earliest credit, if she started the production company in 2010, it's 10 years later at the time of filming this. Um, three whole credits.
Right.
Gangbusters.
And Life Twirls On has a 3.4 star. The Confidant has a 4.0. And then
Are
Gone with
those
the Wind.
self-rated?
I mean, okay, Life Twirls On has 51 votes.
Mm.
The Confidant has 314, and then there's no rating. There's no votes for Gone with the Wind. Fabulous.
What about what Cooch says? She doesn't have her fake booty workout on there. The stallion booty. That's not on there.
Let's see.
I mean, even though it was like a workout video, you could put it under your production company.
And it probably was. It probably wasn't produced by her. I would think. So I think she said she went through the same. Oh, she went distribution with Bethany Frankel, not
Oh,
production. So I'm not sure if there was something on the back end to where she doesn't get producer credits on it.
interesting. Okay. Oh, and it's at this lunch that Kenya brings up um, we want to do a quick girls getaway.
Hmm.
And so who was it who suggested Charleston? Candy?
Yes.
Yeah. She was eating. Bless her heart, Candy.
I have a question for real quick before we go. I just
Mhm.
have a question. Stallion Booty, since it was done on Bravo, do you think maybe they're the producers behind the scenes, and that's why she didn't get credit?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I was just wondering about that. Sorry about that. It was just in my head. I wanted to get it out.
Yeah, I mean, put out two competitive exercise videos because you had donkey and stallion booties at the same time. I wouldn't be surprised.
And you know,
Mm.
Bravo getting a cut of both videos, so because they were
Mhm.
done on the show. So
Yeah.
good job, Bravo.
Okay. Ablavi thinks that stallion booty is a cute workout. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um. Aw. Iane thinks that she probably donated a very small amount. Could be. Could
Yeah.
be. So yeah, so they were making their plans to go to Charleston for the girls' getaway. She's going, what's her name? Kenya is going to start researching dates, availability of what's available where they can be accommodated. And it's a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to the final scene in this episode, which is going over to Mama Bailey's house. And Cynthia asked her mom if she can invite her dad to the wedding. Your
Hmm.
thoughts?
Hmm. I don't think I would have even brought it up. He was at the first one. He got to work. He got to walk me down the aisle with, my first wedding. The second wedding, I don't think I would ask, just knowing part of the history.
Mm-hmm.
I I just don't really see it being necessary for him to be there when you don't really have that close of relationship. I mean, I can understand like naturally wanting your parents to be there, but I just don't think I would invite him, especially after the whole PSA thing.
Yeah. And it seems like Cynthia hasn't even had like a relationship with him since that PSA came out.
Mhm.
So why do you want him there?
Right.
I don't know.
And I could relate to her thought process when it came down to um how she felt, like how she felt about her impact, because when you are the first child or only child of a single parent, you do think that way. You think about what your parents' life could have been if you weren't born, and you feel guilty. You take on that guilt because you feel like, well, had I not been there, what could they have done?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that was like the most that hit me, because I'm like, yeah, I've had those thoughts, like, I was like, if you didn't get stuck with a child, like what could you have done, and
Mm-hmm.
would your parents' life have turned out differently? So I really kind of felt her in that moment. I really understood where she was coming from.
That particular moment from the confessional, I agree with you. I felt that was genuine. But this whole setup right here, I agree with Stephanie. If this is what she's referring her storyline comment to, I thought this was a storyline thing because, Cynthia is very light on storyline, and I think she pulls anything in to get on air. That's just my opinion. Um, Bless her heart. So
Hey,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Can I just step away from a moment? Can you give me
Mhm.
a quick moment? Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So what did you guys think of Noelle speaking up and getting involved in sharing her viewpoints in the live chat? Did you think she was out of place as the child here, or did you think she was old enough to voice her opinion in a respectful way, or did you think she was just totally disrespectful? Um, I don't know. I thought she was old enough um, to share her opinion. She's like, I've met my grandfather once in my lifetime, but I know my granny, and if my granny's uncomfortable, I say go with granny. And I thought she didn't say it rude. She laid out her points very well. I was surprised. So let's see what you guys are saying. Um, okay. Oh, this is a good comment. Ian says it's sad how a child, even after 50, longs for a parent's affection. I agree with that because, you know, when they're not there, it's very impactful. And no matter how old you are, you still want the love and affection of a parent. Um, Noelle is Cynthia's conscience. Oh my God, yes. Sometimes I really do. Sometimes I think she's her brain as well. Um, Cooch says impressed. It was needed. Yep. Let's see what Trey says. I'm starting to think that Kenya's accusations were a diversion tactic to keep eyes off her and the toys. Oh, yes. That will be coming up. Let's see. Nope, she's an adult now. Okay, Cooch. And Coach says she handled it like a champ and put wisdom on it Cynthia did not have. That's very true. Um, hey,
Hey,
I was just going through some of the comments because I asked if Noelle, if it was appropriate for Noelle to speak up in this situation. Was she rude, or should she have stayed quiet as she's a child or whatever? And everyone's just giving their feedback.
I think what she said was appropriate.
Mhm.
I think she was right. I mean, I just don't really understood what the debate was because like you don't have a relationship with him like that. You know, you don't see him, you really don't talk, and he was at the first wedding. So
Mhm.
why is he at the second wedding?
Yeah, something happened after that PSA where, her mom got a lot of backlash from back home, and
Hmm.
it's still stinging. So why reopen that wound?
Right,
Especially if he hasn't spoken to you in so many years.
right.
Um, let that one go. He's been to one of your weddings. He knows the storyline and he knows how it's going to end. Maybe he'll come to the next wedding.
Let's see. Stephanie, Cynthia should have at least apologized for putting her mother into the PSA situation. I believe that she did. She apologized at
Yeah,
the end.
she did. She did apologize because her mother said that she didn't know what PSA meant, or that it would have been shared, on TV or go, broadcast elsewhere. And she apologized. It was a very thorough apology for not explaining what PSA was. Um, if she didn't understand about the cameras not being there, if she didn't understand that it would have been broadcast or what the impact her story would have, she apologized for everything. So for once, Cynthia took full responsibility for that situation. But Deb, let's see. But Deb might be right. She was reaching for storyline. She said her daughter would have her back, and she did the opposite. I think Cynthia Cynthia really relies on Noelle for strength. She really does. If you think back to when her and Peter were getting the divorce. Like, she really spoke to Noelle as if Noelle was her girlfriend or something like that. She relies heavily on Noelle. It's been the two of them for their entire lives together. So it's an unusual mother-daughter relationship. And I also think that's why Noelle is so mature, because she knows that she has to talk to her mother sometimes about difficult things that her mother makes her privy to. Um, I don't know. She also seems like an old soul to me, Noelle, I guess, has been around adults most of her life and is just a little bit more mature for her age. Sorry about that, Jamal. I was just
It's okay.
rambling.
Yeah. No, I like the insight. I agree. They seem
Yeah.
more like mother daughter friends.
Mhm.
Um, to where they've always been together, they've always had each other, so they
Mhm.
confide in each other, and it doesn't come. You see the mother, there is mother daughter relationship, but it's
Mhm.
not. It hasn't crossed over to like best friend territory.
Mhm.
So that's what makes That's what makes this work.
And Cynthia is, oh, bless you. Cynthia is a bit needy. She always needs someone to have her back, And
Mm-hmm.
remember the friend contract with Nene, the way how she, interacts with Noelle. It's always, I need someone to have my back. She should also not be surprised that Noelle voiced her own opinion and did not have her
Mm-hmm.
back in this situation, because Noelle, she has her own mind, which sometimes I think Cynthia doesn't. That's bad,
And
but
Yanni makes a good point. There were cameras. Why would they record her otherwise? Her daughter and Kenya on a reality show asked questions then. And that's
mhm,
what Cynthia said too before she
mhm,
apologized. Like, well, there were cameras, like there was production, like
yeah. Where'd you
you were,
think this was gonna
yeah,
go?
right.
And not only that, we're on a TV show. So in addition to the PSA, We're on a TV show. You didn't think this was gonna go out there? I don't know.
Hmm.
And Stephanie, true. Cynthia always needs someone to have her back. It's very true. Very true. She's a needy person. Yeah, so this was the episode. Um, oh God, this poor little dog. I don't know. I don't know. Again, the episodes are getting better,
Hmm.
but it's moving very slowly to nowhere. And I
Right.
can't help but feel that the stripper gate and the wedding will be a bust.
Oh, we know that though.
So essentially,
We
I'm
know that.
wasting my time watching this show.
I just want to see at this point. Um, I just want to see how the train wreck unfolds at this point. To be honest.
Well, we got a little smidge with the trailer that they released. Um, Everybody's dressed up in sexy outfits. Um, yeah, and the stripper's there. And the noises from the room, which didn't
Right.
sound that bad.
No.
It just sounded like people having a party. Like, I don't know, maybe they're overreacting to this, or like what someone said earlier in the chat, that Kenya is making a big deal out of the girls with the strippers to, deflect from her being a little curious with Latoya.
Agreed.
Okay. I don't know, guys. This is
Okay.
going to be a painful season.
Right. Off topic a little bit. According to Wikipedia, they're gonna have a Real Housewives of Bangkok. All right, people.
Really? When is that
Yep.
starting?
It says the Real Housewives of Bangkok is an upcoming Thai reality TV series. It is produced by Katana Group in partnership with NBC Universal International Studios. So we don't there's no date yet. I just happen to be on the Wikipedia page. I'm just trying to see how much more we have to suffer with this season of Real Housewives.
But didn't they say that Strippergate was halfway through the season?
Yeah.
So this is going to
So
be a short season.
I would think so. Maybe 14 episodes, 15 maybe, and hopefully a one-part reunion.
Hmm. If they're not going to do a one episode reunion, not with Atlanta. Snuggle Bunny, that's such a cute name. I heard maybe Miami's coming back too. We heard that as well, but it'll probably be on Peacock streaming service.
Mhm.
Let's see what Irons is. It's getting better. Yeah, you know. Anyway, looking forward to New Jersey. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's true. That's starting mid-February, I think.
That was
Um,
February 9th for some reason. No?
I don't know. Well, it's a short month, so the 9th
Yeah.
could be mid-February.
Yeah. 9th, 14th, whatever.
House of Ho. Okay. Bling Empire. I did not get to watch this yet, but I'm gonna try to. Uh,
Is that Netflix? Right? Netflix?
Netflix, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the episode,
Yep.
and we shall see you guys later on for the Bell Collective. Yeah?
Yep. Yes. Bell Collective. I do like the show. It's
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. The leads are interesting. So
Mm-hmm.
the production looks really good on it. And I'm being picky about because based I the way Bravo has done this the last couple of seasons, I've been
Mm-hmm.
really looking at how the shows are produced, and it flowed well. Nice group of ladies. I think what I love the most is like the goal of the ladies.
Letitia?
Letitia, thank you. I
Yeah.
know it was a lot. I love her goal of wanting to revitalize that historic street area. So I'm like, I want you guys to do it. But then after the first episode, I'm like, no.
The end of
this,
the first episode really threw me for a loop
oh my
because
god.
that brunch was a woman's empowerment brunch. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
we'll
was
get
the
to
only
you
thing. But I guess it has to be messy
somewhere,
somehow. Yeah,
somehow. Yeah.
yeah. All right,
Um,
guys. If
I
you
got
like the content, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell so that you get all of the alerts of when we're going live, and share. Tell a friend. We want to expand the conversation. So we'll see you later for the Bell Collective if you can make it.
all right, guys. Bye.